And we are rolling. Hi, I am Maija, and we're here with Matt Lewis, and we are at the Laugh Factory, and we're excited to be back. We're back from Oblivion. Yes, Matt and I are speaking.
We're talking again.
We're talking again.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yes. So, so now we're having a conversation again. I was doing the silent treatment. It's just a woman thing.
If America can do it, we can do it.
Yeah. I think we can do it before America's doing it. America is not talking to each other yet. I was very excited. I went to actually vote today. Yeah. I got my vote in. I had to get my new Kamala Harris sneakers before I voted. If anyone needs to know, Adidas is making these AKA sneakers. I don't know if they know it's AKA. You got your I voted patch too?
Yes,
okay.
definitely.
Where's my I vote? I had my I voted patch.
It may have been on something else.
It fell off. No, I had it on. I had it on my dog too.
I believe you voted.
Yeah. So, very excited. Very excited to be back and talking about things because I think I've just been sick and tired of everything that's happening. And oh my God, I think I need a voice. The news has been insane.
Yes. It's been a fever pitch. Yes, it's been a fever pitch. Everything's moving. Everything you know one week is completely different the next week. So
every day.
Yeah.
Every day something new and crazy comes out.
Yes.
You know, and like literally every day it's somebody new and crazy that's usually like some level of Trumpster or something that is happening.
Some C-level celebrity said something absurd or something like that.
It's not that he said something absurd. You know, they vetted. So what we're talking about, let's talk about the Madison Square Garden piece with your Tony Hinchcliffe.
My Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah, because you're a comedy store guy. And I am not a comedy store person. I was passed by Mitzi. But after Mitzi was no longer at the store, I find the club quite rapey. And I'll say it loud.
It's better now.
It always felt very rapey, you know? And it's hard to be in an environment where you just feel like at any moment there's a roofie lurking underneath a glass somewhere.
Gerard Carmichael said, they paint the ceilings black.
Yeah, but it was always that way. Yeah, but actually, since the pandemic has passed, when I went back in, it changed the vibe.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how something could change when you clean it.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
and then a lot of people left, and a couple people moved to Texas.
So
that's interesting. He was one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was one of the ones that moved.
Oh, Tony.
Tony was one of the ones that moved to Austin. Yeah.
Okay, so that was it was actually it was interesting to watch on the world stage happen. What I always felt like I was walking into the store and went, I think I should leave before this gets too ugly.
It had a very Monday night at the store feel kind of vibe. Which was always like auditions, open mic kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
That's what a show is an open mic.
Yeah, but it's very well, and it's not a show. It's not supposed to be an open mic. It's supposed to be a show. But let me tell you, they vetted that speech.
Yeah. They took some off.
So it wasn't like comedian surprises everybody. Yeah. It's like, who thought this joke was okay? And that's
this was the
problem.
Approved set.
This was his approved set.
Yeah.
So exactly, where do you get from this Puerto Ricans are trash? Now, first of all, everyone's like, where'd he get the trash thing from? It's like, well, Trump had said the whole thing about trash, about America has turned into the big pile of garbage, and so this whole island of trash thing that evolved that. It's just been a little bit maddening.
It seemed weird to go at Puerto Rico out of nowhere. It's not like we have some kind of big beef with Puerto Rico. You know what I mean?
The other thing, which
we talking about like Haiti or something like that, was in the news.
Where is that? That
was in the news at least, but like Puerto Rico was like, who?
Well, yeah, that's very. You're right, because Tony Hinchcliffe to me is more of a California comedian, whether he's in Texas or not. So, like, I have yet to even see a Puerto Rican in Los Angeles. It's like there's nobody Puerto Rican. And I'm from New York. Everybody's Puerto Rican in New York. You know what I mean? So, like, it's part of our world. It's part of our culture. Everyone goes on vacation to Puerto Rico as you're growing up. You know,
I can only name two, and they're both comedians. They're the only Puerto Ricans I know out here.
There's nobody out here is Puerto Rican. So, like, that was unless he was on the subway and had a crazy. But he strategically attacked Puerto Rico because
it was New York. Yeah.
Well, no, I think also too. I mean, anyone who would even think of that, the island of trash, and then you have Trump after what he did during the Puerto Rico hurricane.
Jumpers.
That was insanity. So, but at least they had the wherewithal to remove the line of Kamala being the C word and a few other things that were supposed to be on the list. Even though he did go in for the black man with the watermelon routine.
Yeah, that was.
So, I think it was very reminiscent of the
next was going to be airplane
Nazi,
food. Yeah.
the Nazi rally in 1939 of the Americans.
It was weird. It was weird. I mean, he's a roast comic. You don't why you have him on here?
No, I don't think that. I think that he was appropriate to what they wanted. Because it wasn't just him. Did you hear the other speakers? The other speakers were right in line. It wasn't like one comic got out of hand and everybody else was like, as straight-laced as as a public speaker. The guy has wrestlers on. The wrestlers always like, hey, you don't got to do. We're gonna, it's like the most, the minds that I avoid. Having dinner with, I'm friends with everybody. But I've dated guys that sound like some of the guys that were on the Madison Square Garden, event. Yeah. And to hear this is what Hillary Clinton, I've heard these people. I just can't believe that they actually have a platform for that. And that's one of the things it's just gotten. When is it going to stop? I'd like to hear one thing that one interview, just one Trump interview where he's not ripping someone to shreds, talking about the world coming to an end, just like
apocalypse. Revelations
I,
chapter 11 or whatever. Yeah,
something. Can we just get one? I don't think he could do one speech without injuring someone. And someone says, "Well, why would you vote for Kamala?" Look, why? Just to not even listen to this man again. Because people are actually saying to me, they're like, "Well, I can't listen to him, but I'm voting for him." Like, what are you missing? Are you not listening to what he's saying? Are you I can understand you could be mad about all kinds of little issues that are
economy is what
everybody's upset about the economy. But if you look at the Wall Street Journal has just claimed that the economy is the best it's been. And then so has The Economist. And so all the great economies of the world are saying that the economy is actually in good shape. And you know when we're going to really see it flourish? During the next 2 years. The same way when Obama straightened out the economy, it takes a little time.
Takes a second,
and Trump was the one who didn't want to close the borders. He didn't want to close the borders when COVID hit. He did not want to stop the borders coming in from China. He didn't want to, and that's why the whole country ended up closed down. And then everybody who got their little $500 Trump checks that was so happy, and then they were all wondering, why were we in the hole? Why are eggs, $6, $7?
Yeah.
We're recovering. And here's another one. I was in Texas doing a show, and
right.
It was during the right at the end of the pandemic. It was kind of. It shouldn't have been open, but it was Texas.
Yeah.
So an Uber driver.
Yeah, you get COVID, they'll just shoot it out of you.
Yeah. That we're just going to bleach it out of your system.
Yeah,
Don't worry about a little bleach, just a little shot. It's like tequila, just shot of bleach.
Take a 9mm, shoots the COVID.
Exactly. Yeah. So I go to Texas to do a show, and I'm in Houston, and my Uber driver says, do you really believe this? Do you really believe? And I'm doing a New York accent for a Texan cab driver.
Do you believe all this?
Do you believe in COVID? Do you believe? I said, do you actually think that the entire globe, including Italy, and all, are faking all of these people who are dead just to make Trump look bad? Do you really think the whole world is in cahoots? It's all a secret Democratic plot, and if there's not another reason not to vote for Trump, the fact that RFK Jr. is showing up, that guy, I'm sorry, the guy's a weirdo.
And he's weird. He's definitely weird. Yeah.
They said they're going to put him in charge of the health department. The guy who has a worm in his brain. Okay, this is the worm guy.
Killing bears in Central Park.
Exactly. He kills bears in Central Park. First of all, what was a bear doing in Central Park? He dumped a bear in Central Park.
He dumped the bear in Central Park.
He found the bear. He thought it would be good for what? A burger? Who takes roadkill? What? Look, I understand. No. I need some roadkill for dinner.
He's a Massachusetts guy. Yeah, what's he doing?
Yeah, what is he doing? He's a Kennedy. Kennedy stopped what his Rolls Royce and said, pull over, Charles. I need to go pick up this bear and put him in the back seat of our Rolls Royce. How did he even get him into? Was there bear blood everywhere? What kind of vampire would pull off the side? Look, I even understand when you go to the South and people are like, we ate possum. A possum is this big.
Yeah, it's snack.
Would you ruin? Well, maybe you'd pick up a bear if you were in the.
You throw in the truck bed.
He wasn't driving a truck.
Yeah.
This guy's not driving a pickup.
Oh no, he wasn't. Yeah.
What is it? A Rolls pickup? They don't even make that. He's a Kennedy. I mean,
see that at some Alabama football games.
If this man hasn't attracted the biggest weirdos, okay. And now, did you see this article about Elon Musk and his 11 children and his like 11 baby mothers that he's put into a compound in Texas somewhere?
He's going hard. He's catching up with Nick Cannon. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, and he's not even American. How is he influencing the American election? He's not even American. Talking about we need to get rid of these immigrants.
Foreign influence. Yeah. They're like, dude, you're from South Africa,
and
bro.
you're hanging out with Putin.
Yeah.
The guy is hanging out with Putin. Okay, so I am not. Look, I'm not concerned if Trump got in for 4 years.
Okay.
I am concerned that Trump won't get out in 4 years.
Yeah.
That's my worry.
Uh-huh.
And the fact is, the Ukraine will fall. Poland will be in danger because he's globbing in because he's not going to take care. And then you even got Korea. North Korea
is getting trained by Russia. Yeah.
Is getting trained by Russia, and who's to say that they're not going to turn around and just take South Korea?
Well, they'll try, but that's.
But they will. But who's holding them back?
Yeah.
Who do you think's holding back the North Korea from South Korea?
The fact they don't have any food.
No, we are.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's our army.
Yeah, it's our army, which Trump was like, we need to pull out of here because, South Korea is doing too good. Their movies are better than ours. So.
He got mad about Parasite.
No, the fact is, he got mad about
he did.
Parasite.
He was like, yeah, don't you remember Sunset Boulevard? Wasn't that a good movie?
Yeah, it's like.
It's like from the 50s. Yeah, I mean, okay.
They got to give an award to his new movie. But actually, and I said because it was so beautiful. Do you know that the Korean economy actually was saved by all these people within South Korea that actually gave all their gold and all their wealth to rebuild the actual country.
After the Korean War?
Yeah. I mean, and the collapse it's coming, that came much later. It was like much, much later. So this boom is people who love their country. And now we're taught that if you only can love your country if you love this guy. He's
the only avenue to patriotism.
He's the only avenue to patriotism.
That's what he's trying to mark himself as.
I'm worried. I'm worried about everybody. I'm worried about, I had people online talking about like Gaza and Netanyahu and Bibi and all those guys. And I said, listen, I don't think Trump has actually said he should just bomb the hell and wipe them all out. He's already said that. So how can you be, I don't know, but there's not a perfect, like America is not having the right solution that a lot of people are upset about, or the solutions are wrong, or they're balancing between and sending an aid, and now Bibi trying to cut off the aid from Gaza and all this stuff. But there's no way it's going to get better there's no way it's going to get better under Trump.
It's wild. I mean, yeah, he's very much a wild card. I can't define one. I can't define any of his actions just because they're always polar opposites.
Did you vote for him? You voted for him, didn't you?
I didn't vote for president.
I don't believe you.
I didn't vote for president.
You know what?
I didn't vote for president.
Picture of Matt
I voted for the whatever it's called. I voted for. Yeah, I know what I look like.
Such a liar.
No, I voted on the propositions. And
he didn't vote for president. The biggest bet. That sounds like a guilty answer.
I didn't vote.
And then because of this, we're going to be
either of them.
We're not doing another podcast for another 6 months. This is like the.
I voted. It was cool. It was fine. I did it.
You're going to be voting against. You can't. He's a white.
It's California.
He's a white guy. You can't trust him.
Anyway,
he's from Oklahoma. He's a comedy store guy. He's a comedy store guy that watches wrestling. He can't be trusted. He watches wrestling and MMA, and he's up on.
I don't.
Yeah.
Poker, boxing.
Same. Come on. He bought the sneakers.
College football.
Matt bought the sneakers.
What? What sneakers? The gold Trump sneakers.
He's wearing them right now. Shame. You know what? We're battling. He's got Trumps, and I got my Kamalas. That's why I bought my Kamalas.
Shit.
Oh my gosh, there's so much. There's so much going on.
Not a Trump guy. No.
I have to tell you, I've been booked on, and it's embarrassing to say, I was booked on a cruise that's going out during the election.
Oh, that's.
It's going to Europe.
What if they decide not to come back?
That's what I'm saying. They're like, do you want it? I'm like, I don't want to do cruises. No. It's going to
be safer on the boat.
It's going to Paris during the election. I'll take it.
Yeah.
And it's a Norwegian, and which is great because it's not an American company. So I always find really sane people on the ship.
Yeah, better dialogue.
But they actually sent out it's not my agent, but one of the agents for the ship has sent me has had all the comedians. Not only do not bring up politics, but if any weird group should approach you during this cycle, you need to directly go to the cruise director and report them and make sure security knows who they are, because we end up trapped. Because so even
because you're at sea, it's international waters.
Well, the ship is people from overseas.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so let me tell you this. I built a show with my writing partner Heather, right?
Yeah.
And we pitched this show.
Uh-huh.
And we found a producer that's kind of interested in the show, and he says, he's Republican, but he's not a Trumpster, but he's voting for him. But he's not a Trumpster, but he's voting for him.
Right.
And we said, well, it does this thing, and it has like all these different people representing on it, and so we have the fact checker, and he's like, what do you mean fact checked? He's like, there's no all facts are alternative, and I was like, no, I'm in Europe right now. He's calling me in Europe. I'm like, in Europe, facts are facts.
Should be.
In Europe, facts are facts.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
In America, facts are alternative. And remember,
there's a Republican fact and there's a Democrat fact.
It's like whatever you want to hear. There's either a fact's a fact in Europe, and then he was saying, guys, well, the Europe finds this interesting, and I'm like, they do, but they find us deranged.
Yeah,
they find us deranged.
We're their reality show. We're their Real Housewives.
We are their Real Housewives. Exactly. But the thing is, they're nail biting like it's the end of prepare for World War III. They are nail biting.
Yeah. They're concerned about World War III, but they watch us for distraction. Yeah, absolutely.
No, that World War III is it's going to be at the end. It's the end of what happens at this election. Yeah. Because when you're living in a land that is still like you pick where you go places, and there are places that are still destroyed from World War II or historic.
Yeah, ruined.
They're really still so connected to their history.
Yes.
And America is like this island just off in the middle of it's just like making up stuff, and we don't care about the rest of the world, and a fact's not a fact. It is what we want.
We're
and
fun.
So long as we can make some money, who cares about like the rest of the world?
Yeah.
It's really
you get it.
It's very, you're like, I get it. And he's sitting there in gold sneakers. I'm telling you, this is the last podcast. The last podcast.
I would not wear Trump sneakers. Can't afford them anyway. Anyway.
There you go. He looked into them.
I don't know which more worse where those are Yeezys. Anyway.
I feel it's just like I said, I was happy to vote today.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that people don't vote thinking look at what you're if you have a reason why, look at a few different alternative sources of who you're voting for, why, what do they really stand for, because I think that and also character matters. People don't think character matters. They think, well, my dollar matters. It doesn't matter if someone is a decent human being.
Yeah,
or
it's a role model. It's a role model. He's a role model for kids.
No, but what? Is this Tupac? Is this all coming from Tupac? That one day on Arsenio Hall, that I am not a role model the first time in public, and everyone gasped. And now Trump is living in the I am not a role model.
Yeah, you have. It's hard to have. Tell kids, hey, if you stole Timmy's pencil, I have to admit it. And you're like, he's not going to admit it. The president's not going to admit it. You know what I mean? So it's just
there's a level of decency.
No, there should be. But you can
I'm
agreeing
tell.
with you. You understand?
You can tell. Yeah. When someone has some level of decency and decorum and kindness. It's not like you
don't have to be perfect. It's just effort.
But I was like, I turn on the TV, Matt. I turn on the TV and I'm watching. I know. I'm watching an ad. Okay, yesterday.
Okay.
And it was. I started to laugh. Kamala Harris is going to take all of your taxpayer money and give it to drag queens in prison that are trying to transition, that are illegal immigrants that happen to be murderers because they voted for her. You're like, come on, this sounds like a fib that if a 4-year-old said it doesn't. Come on.
It sounds like a 1940s invader movie, like a space invader movie or something like that. Yeah,
If you judged your presidential candidate by the same kind of quality of telling the truth or a far-fetched lie, like if you looked at this guy and you said, if I was dating him, would I believe what he just said to me? Like, you know what I mean? That's the way it's got to be looked at. Like, would I believe that she would take our taxpayer money,
Yeah.
go, and then they have a guy full on in drag who looks like, Divine, you know what I mean, in
Yeah,
hairspray.
gotcha,
Do you know what I mean?
gotcha.
And so it's like what drag queen is
linebacker,
dressed like
yeah.
that in prison? Okay, that is sitting there and she's shaking hands. It's like
Yeah.
it is so, and just a weird ass soundbite that it doesn't. It's like, just come up with some decent ads. Like, come up with ads of like why you think your economic plan is better, or
your
why
plan,
you think
yeah.
your immigration plan is better. Like,
Yeah,
why come up with something that doesn't sound like a 6-year-old's
yeah.
lie
Yeah.
or a bad player. A bad player that's going to come in and be like, "Hey, baby, you know what's going to happen if this country comes over." Like he's like shimmying his shoulders, and you don't believe that? Well, you don't believe that? Come on, you don't believe that?
Who were the guys from Laverne and Shirley? Squiggy and
Lenny and Squiggy.
Lenny and Squiggy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lenny and
that kind of
Squiggy.
creepy
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand what. And no, this is not even so bad. Is it people who think he's Christ? That.
Yeah, like 8 flags on the truck kind of thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
when you think that this man has anything,
Yeah.
all he says is evil. Jesus only spoke kindness, and everything he says is this one needs to go to jail. This one is a liar. That one's a pedophile. That one's a this one. Look at that one, she's fat. That one twitches her eye too much. I'm like, oh, man, you know what? You remind me like of an old grumpy family member that just you can't even bring home a date because they got to say something wackadoodle. You know what I mean? You can't even bring home a boyfriend or potential friend.
You got to take an edible before Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah. Could you imagine Thanksgiving with Trump? Oh my God. Like, I bet you Ivanka, the little Ivanka, is probably with her husband. Like, he had to come.
Jared,
she had to come home with some mogul, and like, of course, he's not going to be like, you bring home this guy whose father's in jail for no. It's like, oh, you brought home a guy with some property. No, that's
Let me license some of it.
Let me license some of it. That's all I care about. So this, like, I just hope everybody goes out and votes, and I hope everyone doesn't feel defeated, because some people think, and I noticed this.
Vote early if you can too. Mail it in, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't mail it in because they're burning them.
Yeah.
But
good point. Yeah.
But the thing is, I have friends and from all walks of life. And I've heard from a lot of people, a lot of white people especially, that my vote doesn't count, the vote doesn't mean nothing, my vote does. But the truth is,
California, yeah, I think that's what they mean, basically.
But no, I'm not talking about California. I've been hearing it my whole life.
Really?
Or people being scared that their vote doesn't mean anything. It's all in the fix. And
Yeah.
you know what? Everything that happened in civil rights for women and people of color, it changed. Things got better. Things actually changed because of a vote. Women's rights.
It's a start. It's a start. Yeah, absolutely.
And like women's rights being on the ballot. Yeah.
I mean, protest. Absolutely, protest. Go out. That's how it starts. That starts the conversation going. Yeah.
Well, vote.
Yeah.
It's a protest. Now it's on the ballot, so the protest
absolutely.
doesn't need to be there. Vote.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. Yeah.
But the thing is that you look at the whole conversation about like it doesn't matter to not get there. As women, did you hear about what they did when they had the court case on abortion in Georgia?
Go with it. No, not familiar.
So they actually won in court for abortion, pro-choice.
Okay, yeah. Like a
and they tried to flip it back over, but they
tried to overrule the.
They overruled what the judge came up with, but they won it.
Yeah, they tried to overrule the vote of the people. Yeah,
they won it on the grounds of slavery, on the anti-slavery law of the 13th Amendment, which was, that if a child is forced to have an unwanted pregnancy from a rapist and she's got to be burdened with this in 5th grade in school, then that's a form of slavery. That she's forced to raise this kid that she did not consent to having sex with, so that was the first time that's ever been argued, and it's pretty brilliant that women that are in an unwanted, especially in terms of rape. But I've never known any woman. I've never in my life met a woman that tried to get an abortion past 3 months, ever.
I don't. Yeah,
unless it was life and death.
Yeah,
but I've never in my life.
Yeah, I feel like some of the people that are trying to write these laws and and argue these laws, especially on the other side, it seems like they're they're talking about it like women, like they talk about like women getting their nails done or something like that. You know, like it's just like I'm just gonna go drop in and get an abortion.
Yeah,
you know, just kind of a you think you could squeeze me in today kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like
is Susie available?
I changed my mind. I'm just gonna I never. It's absurd.
Yeah, like my opinion, my experience, I know women that have had abortions, and it's like it's a thing. They don't. Nobody looks at it like oh, I'm gonna just get my hair done, or I'm just gonna I'm gonna take a me day. No, something like that. No.
I'm gonna take a me day.
No.
Exactly. So please remember, like your vote does count, especially this time around. If you never vote again, you know Trump says you won't have to vote again. So he said that if you're Christian, don't worry, he'll fix it so you don't ever have to vote again. So that's what we're dealing with. But anyway, welcome back to my podcast, Maija Behave, and with Matt. Because you want to say it. You want to say Maija Behave.
Oh,
yeah,
stop.
Exactly.
Stop.
Exactly. See how he is. With Matt Lewis. Okay, so Matt, let's cover some news.
What do you want? You want the funny? You want the politics? What do you want?
We can go politics because we're warm on it.
All right. Well, this kind of goes with the one story we were talking about from the rally. It's from Variety magazine. 50 Cent claims that he turned down Donald Trump's $3 million offer to perform at the rally at Madison Square Garden Sunday.
Excellent decision. You know, sometimes in life you get this like, you know, you pray on something and something says, "Don't do it, don't do it." You know.
Yeah.
And then you go like, "Oh man, I turned down all that money," and then you go, "Oh, thank God," because that was an absolute disaster. Good for him. He can't find any music.
Nobody. I mean, what was going to play?
Really? I think
it's just Lee Greenwood.
He
basically.
just plays
Lee Greenwood over.
Well,
and over
YMCA. Again. He still loves the YMCA, and he's anti
macho man.
He's anti-gay doing YMCA as he's on the stage doing YMCA, but he doesn't. He's anti-gay. And you know what makes me wonder? Yeah. Does he not know who owns it? Like, is it the cowboy? Is it the Indian? Is it the mailman?
I thought that song was always kitschy to me in the 80s, and I was just like, it's not even my time, and I was just like, it was just it's something you play at a wedding to dance, but
it was about, it's like, isn't it about like losing your virginity at the YMCA, because the YMCA on 34th Street in Manhattan was, I thought it was like a kind of a gay meetup.
I thought it was a guys are down on their luck, and then they wind up hooking up there or something like that.
YMCA was actually a pretty inexpensive place for people
like
to stay.
Like a men's shelter, I guess, kind of thing.
You call it a men's shelter, but my college actually used it as a dorm.
Oh, jeez.
And I was never living in that dorm.
Yeah, I hope not. Yeah.
But they used the YMCA there as a dorm.
Yeah, it's low income housing for single room occupancy.
Okay, it was a dorm for an art school.
Okay. All right.
So by the time like I was past like the sophomore year, all the guys in my class were gay. So I think they knew. They're like, it
was also an art school, like you said. It was an art school. Yeah. It was
like no football team here.
No tight ends.
All right. So let's keep going. So 50 Cent.
All right. Let me pull that back up.
No, it's okay. Let's go to the next one. I think we roasted that one sufficiently.
Here we go. It's
Matt's
my bad.
Looking. It's okay. Yeah, no worries.
It's from the Express Tribune. Kamala Harris launches custom Fortnite map as part of campaign outreach to younger voters. Kamala Harris unveils Freedom Town, USA Fortnite map in a unique campaign bid to engage younger voters. Fortnite, big video game.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's first. I mean, they're always trying to embrace the technology. I mean, like,
I think they did a fantastic job with that. I think what else is great is that if you have like your Fortnite, video game,
addicts,
and then you could be playing. You know, what'd be great too is that you could be like, oh, you're about to drop it in the mailbox. Oh no, you can't drop your vote there because it was burned. It exploded. Okay, let's move over to the next place, and then you have like some like red-hatted freaks that are like in the front. You're not allowed to vote.
Yeah,
like they ride up on you, and then you have people as you're trying to drive to vote. Then they have you, run you off the road. Remember how they ran the candidates off the road during Biden? Have a bunch of guys in a pickup truck that ride you off the road. You should just need to make a regular video game. Shouldn't even need Fortnite.
I don't know if it was all that intense. Yeah, Fortnite.
Ching, wait a minute, it's a Dominion box. No, it isn't. It's safe. Don't listen to Fox News.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like what they say is like, like if she does an interview on 60 Minutes, nobody under 30 is going to watch it. You know.
Okay. Well, she also did Charlemagne the God.
Well, no, yeah, but no, I'm saying I'm agreeing. It's a good move.
Oh, so
yeah.
They covered everything.
They're trying to meet people where the voters are at. And that's smart.
I think she used Obama's guy, so
well,
Obama's team really helped.
In 2008, Obama was the first one to really embrace social media with Facebook. You know, and I just remember.
You know what?
Because it was also like the right age too. You know.
No, I feel it really is. But you know, then Trump came along with Twitter, and look at how that's gone. And then they shut down Twitter, and then Elon Musk took Twitter. This is all like, you know what?
It swings too far. It's wild.
And now he's got Truth Social. Oh my God! Have you been on there?
I've never looked. I see them talk about it, but I've never been on it. I don't need another app on my phone. I don't care. Whatever. I don't have Twitter on my phone.
He's lying,
Stop. I don't have Twitter on my phone. I don't have Facebook on my phone. I log in and I log out, but I don't have. I've never.
You don't have Truth Social. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. That's gross. No,
but I think I think it's amazing. But I think it's great that she built it into a video game. I think she could just do voting as a video game, like false news, false information. Just before you're about to vote, like your finger gets taken away with some kind of crazy ass news story that doesn't. Kamala Harris she's making everybody have immigrants move into their house, and that's no. I'm not even making. My friend's mother just said she's like, the reason why they arrested Eric Abrams is because he refused to go along with it. I'm like, along with what? Biden was going to make all these illegal immigrants move into regular people's houses in New York, and he said no, and that's why they're trying to stop him.
Adams,
I was like, what? Like, you've got to be like do you hear yourself?
Yeah.
Do you hear yourself? I think we should record every one of these obsessive Trump voters and then play this back to them in like 10 years. Just like record their stuff. You know how you get like, remember how you were as a teenager and your friends got like the yearbook picture?
The Facebook memories or whatever, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
10 years later kind of thing.
10 years later. Just
remember when you were at this birthday party? Yeah.
Let's record why. Just I want a recording of why you think that this is a good thing. And then we'll play back your reason for voting for Trump. We're going to start with you, Matt.
Wait, me? I'm not voting for Trump.
Okay, all right.
I never voted for
See,
Trump. I
don't.
left Oklahoma. Stop.
Okay, he left.
Relax.
I went to college and then I left Oklahoma.
Brain drained. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
All right, what's next?
All right, it's the one you had for me out of People magazine. Spirit Airlines passengers spot a super rat scurrying around in a plane cabin ceiling light mid-flight. Commenters on social media are debating whether it was a rat or another type of rodent that hitched a ride on a flight from Dallas to Los Angeles last week.
Oh God! So okay. So first of all, I'm glad it was not from New York. Because we are just known as the Rat City. We're Rat
Dallas,
Central.
yeah, Dallas.
But Dallas,
yeah.
A Dallas rat commandeered a plane, right? Yeah. Snuck on and was smart enough to get on Spirit Airlines. I just want to know, first of all, I just want to know how the rat got on without being charged. Because Spirit Airlines, nickel and dime airlines that will charge you to print your boarding pass once you get there.
Yeah.
Like that's how
$5. Something, it's just stupid.
$10.
$10 now, probably.
To print your boarding pass.
Yeah.
They charge you for water. I was on a Spirit flight, and this woman with a baby was like, "How much for water?" And they're like $2 for water. She had a baby on her lap, and she was like pregnant. And I was like, "Fine, I'll buy her the freaking water." Like, what kind of people are these?
They're psychopaths. Yeah.
So how the heck did a rat even get into passenger the passenger cabin?
I like that.
Open up where the suitcases are, because that would have been. I bet you when they found the rat, they were like $75.
That's what I think they're upset about. They didn't get any money for it.
They didn't get any money for it. They could have wedged another suitcase in.
I like Spirit Airlines passengers debating about what it was. They're all experts on rodents.
Oh my God. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, they're probably like, I think he was a possum that snuck on.
Exactly.
I think it was some kind of weird dog.
Yeah, it may be a Chihuahua. We're down near Southwest.
He was an alien brought here by Hillary Clinton. She's going to vote. He went to Los Angeles to try to vote.
It's a lizard person.
Yeah. Oh my God! But But it's what? It's fitting. I noticed the rat didn't go to Delta. The rat knew where it would blend in. They probably just put on some cheap
stick him in an aisle seat.
$5 sunglasses.
Stick him in an aisle seat. Nobody will notice.
Slick his hair back, and he didn't have to worry about leg room, because you know how they cut off the leg room so they can squeeze everybody on there. They're the only ones they should put the bus hookies on there.
Oh, like a subway.
So you can just ride, hold on during takeoff.
That's gonna be the next thing.
That's gonna be next.
I've flown on Allegiant Airlines. It's worse.
Is it worse?
It's worse.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the seats that were built from planes for the 1970s for 1970s.
Did they have ashtrays?
Yes, they still had the fold-out ashtrays. right? So you
God.
push down, and it was like I'm a little chubby,
Yeah.
and I was a 10 on that flight. I was Bradley Cooper on that flight compared to the two guys I was sitting next to, and I was just, and I shouldn't be it was, I needed the oxygen mask before we took off.
That's
Basically,
hilarious.
just
That's hilarious. I feel like
Allegiance worst.
God, it's like a little DOS computer when you get in there. They're
playing Oregon Trail and stuff.
They're
Like
playing like
they're playing Pong.
Yeah, that's like a Pong machine.
You got the
inflatable
guy from the Leslie Nielsen airplane coming
exactly.
up. Yeah,
exactly.
All right, here we go. Next, we got this is from Fox News. Suitcase killer in Florida learns fate after boyfriend's murder as a 911 call captures victim's state. Shocking audio. Sarah Boone is heard saying, "My boyfriend is dead." Florida woman accused of suffocating her boyfriend inside a suitcase was found guilty of murder following a 10-day trial. Took 10 days.
Took 10 days.
Sarah Boone, 46, was arrested and charged in the death of her boyfriend, 42-year-old Jorge Torres, in February 22 in Winter Park, Florida apartment. Apparently, they were drunk, and she zipped them up in a suitcase.
Okay, so first of all, let's go wrong. Okay, we
Florida?
got Florida. It's typical Florida news.
Yeah.
This is not a shock.
No.
It took place in Florida.
It's like,
Okay.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Sarah Boone.
Sarah Boone. Okay, first of all, her name is Boone.
Boone.
So Boone in Florida. And this is the key. How short does your husband got to be to put him in a suitcase?
Yeah, because you just went suitcase shopping, Yeah,
but like you got to be pretty little.
Yeah.
And then his name's Jorge.
Yeah.
So
Puerto Rico, probably.
no, well, leave Puerto Rico alone. Puerto Rico's had enough time.
All right,
okay, enough damage on Puerto Rico.
How many Puerto Rican
But you don't have to.
How many
you don't
Puerto
have
Rican
to,
NBA players do you see?
Okay, but I'm saying is now Puerto Ricans are tall. I've met tall Puerto Ricans. They've met tall Puerto
Ida
Ricans. I've
Rodriguez,
only
yeah.
met.
She's
Ida
tall.
Rodriguez. You stupid. But no, I mean his name's Jorge.
Yeah,
He's got to be a little guy
yeah.
that she put in a suitcase. Come on. I mean, and then did you hear the call?
I didn't.
No, Boone's like, hey,
she was drunk.
what's your address? Well, my address is 4222, Florida.
Yeah.
Turn left at the swamp. You'll see an alligator crossing and big snake in front.
Snaggletooth the road.
Such and such.
Yeah.
And then they're like, what happened? Oh, my husband's dead.
Yeah.
It was the most random.
Just casual.
Yeah, casual.
Yeah.
My husband's dead.
Yeah.
And, get here when you feel like it.
He's acting like a little punk right now, not breathing and crap.
Yeah, we were playing a game, and I put him in a suitcase.
You know how we do, how couples do.
Yeah, how couples do. I put him in a suitcase, and I fell asleep. She said she put him in a suitcase, and she fell asleep. Like, are you kidding me? She's like, yeah, I fell asleep. When I woke up, he was dead. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, So I think they were both drunk. Yeah, she passed out.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think he was dead before. He was dead before he got in the suitcase. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't hear the whole case, but
when are they gonna have like a CSI Jacksonville? That's what I want to see. Yeah.
CSI Jacksonville. Yeah, Jacksonville's actually a decent city. It's CSI that swamp place in the middle. It's a swamp.
Orlando,
basically.
It's like outside of Orlando. Yeah.
Yeah, it's when you're crossing that Everglades.
Oh, the
CSI Everglades.
Okeechobee. Yeah.
Everglades. Yeah. Okay.
All right. From USA Today. You familiar with Lunchly? Lunchly criticisms, mold allegations, prompt response from Logan Paul to try harder.
Was this an Oscar Mayer?
No, Lunchables.
Oh, that's a Lunchables.
These are like
this is a knockoff.
No, it's a competitor. Logan Paul, KSI, and Mr. Beast. They're all YouTubers, but they're competing.
And they eat Lunchables?
No, they made them.
They made the Lunchables.
They're making the Lunchables.
Okay.
And it just went away from me, and I'm trying to find it. Yeah.
So something went sour. I think they said the cheese went sour on the Lunchable, and then everyone's having a problem with it.
Yeah, Leslie is changing the grab-and-go game with an innovative approach. The Lunchly kits, pizza, turkey, and contain real cheese, less sugar, and fewer calories. But the cheese is moldy now. That's the problem. That's where we're...
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't understand how anyone thought any of them were healthy. Like, when you look at, everyone's acting like, oh, these are molded. Like, the whole thing is like, if it's not molded, I wonder what it's dosed in
Give me
to keep it from molding.
Give me the poison I know. I don't need new poisons.
You know what? That's why you trust Oscar Mayer to kill you, not some other Logan Paul.
Logan Paul, the YouTuber. Yeah, he's great, man.
Logan Paul's Making Lunchables.
Yes.
Don't trust a YouTuber to make Lunchables. Don't trust a YouTuber to make you lunch unless he's a chef YouTuber. That's how I feel.
Okay. Fair
All
enough,
right.
fair
Next.
enough.
What's next?
This is from the AP. Fire set in drop boxes destroy hundreds of ballots in Washington and damage 3 boxes in Oregon.
I wonder who's doing that.
There was something I saw about it. Now they're saying incendiary devices were set off Monday at 2 ballot drop boxes. They're like the metal steel boxes.
Yeah.
Where you can strictly 4 ballots.
Okay.
And they pick them up every 24 hours.
Okay.
And overnight they got scooped. They got somebody threw like a fire in the thing or whatever, or gasoline.
This
or
is
like
so
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy. And then it's always going to be, who's going to be the victim. You know who's crying. You know who's always crying. It's always Trump who's crying. He's like, my ballots, everyone's trying to stop everybody. Your mouth stops everybody.
Yeah.
Just, you know what? He would probably pick up a lot more voters if he just stopped talking. He would pick up a lot of, just stop talking. Just stop talking. The bombing. That's why I'm saying vote in person.
Yeah.
Vote in person. Yeah. I know it's a pain in the neck. If you got to get one of those chairs that you push up and you can sit on, or find something.
Chair, something
like
that.
Something. Yeah. If you got to do that, you know what? You'll do it for Black Friday. But you won't do it for the vote.
Yeah. I mean, it was easy the other day. I just walked into West Hollywood City Hall, and it was.
They have it covered. California's got it good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to. It was kind of cool. They looked up by my thing and just. First name, last name.
Yeah,
and
they have
address.
A pollster thingy. They're really fluid, and God bless the poll workers.
And
keep
printed out a
safe,
specific QR code.
Because I've been a poll worker before.
Yeah, it could be
a real poll worker, not like a poll.
Yeah, not a stripper
work.
Poll. I got you.
Okay.
All right. From Variety magazine, teens want less sex in movies. Sex in movie and TV shows, study finds. Teens want movies and shows to stay in the friend zone at a time when films like Baby Girl, Poor Things, and Fair Play, and such series as Disclaimer and Tell Me Lies are more explicitly sexual. Younger audiences are hoping that more Hollywood stars stay clothed on screen, and the entertainment industry focuses on characters who are in platonic relationships. One key finding from a UCLA study. 1,500 respondents ages 10 to 24.
I actually think that's really an interesting story. The fact that some of these young people out here want less sex. But see, I think that's what happens. You do too much and people are like, that's
Swing
too much.
Far.
That's too much.
Yeah.
It's nice to know that there are kids out there like, all right, enough. Like everything has to be sexualized.
Yeah.
Because I think they've done the opposite. And so it's actually really nice to have people, that are actually, especially young people, not obsessed with sex. But now everything's so free.
Yeah.
So everything is sex. I don't think I could watch one show on like Netflix that somebody isn't either murdered or stopped.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember my sister, catching the stuff. She was, she was a little bit, but like the 80s stuff, like the Porky's and like Fast Times at Ridgemont High and that kind of thing. And I was just like, that's boobs. But I was also like too young to be watching it. And it was just.
But it was a boob, but it wasn't a sex scene.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like a boob runs across the screen.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then the rest of them, but you had all the Brat Pack stuff. So then you had like real stuff that was just like girl likes guy or guy doesn't like girl or he's a dork and we don't like him, but he's friends.
Yeah, you can date it without seeing somebody's, butt cheeks, you know what I mean? Just because somebody's dating.
I don't know.
So graphic
it's actually nice. It's actually refreshing.
Yeah.
So that's actually a nice story.
And also it's just like, if people want to watch porn, they'll find it. You don't need to integrate it into everything.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful story. Yeah. I'm glad you covered that.
Yeah. There we go. There's another one. USA Today. Actress Olivia Munn shows her mastectomy scars in new Skims campaign. I'm done being insecure. Olivia Munn is done feeling insecure about the scars after undergoing a double mastectomy. The newsroom star, 44, modeled Skims bras in a new campaign launched on Wednesday by Kim Kardashian's Shapewear company. One of the photos shows Munn wearing Skims' new nipple bra, while and another shared on the company's Instagram story. Actor shows off her mastectomy scars in a side view.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's another nice story. I like these, Matt. They're not all like the world is coming to an end. After all, I don't think you could work for the Republican Party. Some of these are nice stories. Some of these are nice stories. And they're like, the world's coming to an end. No. This is our last podcast before we're taken over by illegals. They're knocking on the door. They make it like we're living in like, it's going to be Return of the Living Dead.
It's all going to be a Venezuelan, Colombian cartel podcast after this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to be replaced.
All right. That's good. All right, next story.
Okay. All right. From TMZ. 49ers Nick Bosa, defensive end. 49ers Nick Bosa crashes teammates interview with Trump hat. Nick Bosa made it clear he's supporting Donald Trump for president. The 49ers star defensive end crashed his teammates post-game interview on live TV rocking a MAGA hat. They're interviewing the quarterback. I don't know if you saw the video.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I don't really look to football players to have the most information on what the political and historical insight on what's going on in the country. So I understand that. And I mean, he's a football player, it's like, okay, it could be worse. Could have been in a Jill Stein hat, Jill Stein. God, would she just stop it? Even her kids are like, stop it. Yeah. They have pictures of Jill Stein with what's his name now, with Putin.
Oh, they're superimposing or?
No, it's real.
What?
Yeah.
You sure
no,
it's
real. It's real. It's real. You can look.
Know.
It's AP.
We'll take a look.
It's AP. Well, you look at it. Not kidding.
All right.
Not kidding.
I'll look it up afterwards.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
That'll be on the next podcast.
Got a couple more for you.
Okay.
This is out of Reuters. U.S. Justice Department backs consumers in Las Vegas hotel pricing case. This is a software that's been going on. Software cases have been going on. It's happening in Las Vegas. All the hotels are colluding to raise the prices on consumers. They're all working in symbol.
Oh my gosh.
In lockstep.
Now this is an important story
because it doesn't just happen. The hotels. They're doing it with rental prices in certain cities.
Oh, so everybody is raising the prices together.
Yeah.
So they're tied in together. So that way you can't go and find a better price.
Exactly. It's not. And for hotels in Vegas. Okay, you're screwing them over for their vacation, but they're using that same technology. It's been two cities, I think it was like Denver and Phoenix, where the apartment companies, it's not based on like, hey, we have all our units occupancy high, so we're going to raise the price. It's just like, what can we squeeze out of people?
Oh, that's crazy. So
the cost of living is going up.
They just caught this. The State Department cost. This is fantastic.
Yes,
that's great news.
The U.S. Department, they're saying that the case is going to go through. It got thrown out, but the U.S. Justice Department is going back on it. Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. I knew there was something up because every time I looked for a hotel,
it's getting crazy.
You can't find the prices are crazy.
Yeah.
And you can't find anything that competes with it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make any sense because I've driven to Vegas.
Yeah.
There's no way that like the
all
dumpy
these places
schlump,
are full.
The dumpy schlump is full.
Yeah.
And I'm paying the same price as the dumpy schlump down the street that looks like it was the old the $50 lady hotel. That should be costing the same price.
Yeah.
That should be costing the same price as as Caesars.
Yeah, the price-fixing lawsuit filed last year against software maker Cedent and the hotels, including Wynn Resort and Caesars. And the case will be closely watched for potential to influence other cases.
Okay.
So yeah, it's basically they're using technology to screw over the general public.
Lock them up.
And I think it was Lena Khan, head of the FTC. She's one of Biden's opponent.
It's a Biden appointee.
Yeah, and she's one that even the Republicans like. It's wild.
Oh,
because
that's great.
Because she's
what about Marjorie Taylor Greene? Does she like her?
I am not familiar with what her feelings are. All right, and this is one a little bit close, personal for me and you. And entertainment news. Last we're closing off on. Just to let you know, last night was Game 4. Tonight is Game 5 of the World Series.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. This is where it's getting really emotional for you. World Series is having record-setting ratings. As Dodgers win, this is from yesterday. The Dodgers win third consecutive games. 13.2 million viewers watching live. That's insane.
That is insane.
It's been on Fox.
That's crazy.
I was watching it at the Hollywood and Highland at the big ovation thing.
Yeah.
They're setting records for it right now.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, that's great because it's nice. I think everybody needs a break from politics so they can watch some baseball. It's nice to just shut down and just be good old-fashioned American baseball where people aren't at each other's throats because today they weren't in the stadium in Los Angeles. Apparently everybody there is psychotic and threatening people, and you can't celebrate anything.
Yeah.
And then and the kids are watching and they're screaming curses to the TV.
Yeah.
The ball players. It's gotten where is our decorum? You know, it's some kind of stand up and do the right thing in society. But I will. Okay, go on.
I mean, the game last night, Mookie Betts, right fielder for the Dodgers, he went up against to catch the ball. Do you see the Yankees fans ripping it out of his hand?
Well, that's the Bronx. They're savages. I'm just kidding.
But after the game, they were asking, Mookie's the most calm, he's an MVP usually guy, and he was just like, he didn't even want to talk about it. He wasn't going to argue about it. He was just like, no, we lost the game. That was the problem. And it was
East
just,
Coast, West Coast rap. Yeah, we never let it die down.
the rappers haven't been good.
I know,
either.
No, but
Ice Cube was good, but Fat Joe.
Yeah.
Shut up. I know it's a rough week for Puerto Rico, but
okay. You've been all over Puerto Rico this week, and you leave Fat Joe alone. So.
I think they had a Shanti last night.
Yeah, okay, listen. I have a theory about my New York team.
Okay, go with it. Go with it.
Because everyone's like, are you panicking? You panic. I'm like, look.
They're down 3-1.
We have so many pennants that we've won over it.
27 champions. 27
yeah.
rings.
So and I grew up having all those championships growing up in my camp.
You are a legitimate fan. I will give you credit. You are not. You are not at all a bandwagon fan.
No, I am.
I've known you for a decade and a half, and I know you're full.
I'm a serious Yankee. But when everybody panicked, and a lot of my New York friends panicked, it was kind of interesting because I don't panic because I know New York. New York always loses to the last. It's just. They just can't ever get it together. Like, look at the Giants. The Giants, the best games they've ever had. It's been like, we're gonna lose 6 games and then we're gonna win the World Series against Tom Brady. Like, they're just a bizarre way of doing it. It's we would call it backward ass, but it's a backward ass way of doing things. And New Yorkers do it that way. We just like all of a sudden we're gonna lose, and then all of a sudden we're gonna kill them. And you're like, what? Like, how did that happen?
A big dramatic rally.
Yeah, we just one day, just like, oh, I'm tired of this. Okay, let's just win. So I don't know if they're going to have that attitude. I hope they do tonight, and we'll see. But it wasn't that last game. Yeah. I was thinking they would do it the night before.
Oh, they exploded in the 8th inning. Yeah, it was good.
Oh yeah,
it was a good
in the
game.
8th inning, bizarre. Like you would think somewhere earlier they would wake up, but that's New York.
Yeah.
That's New York.
But yeah, they're setting television ratings, so it's good. I mean, I feel like we were talking about this the other day. It's like it's good to see like everybody all on one page for something at least. Yeah. And I know people complain about it being just a coastal town, a big city market thing. It was just like, if people cared about Milwaukee, cool. But whatever. It's just.
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
These are the stars. I hear you. Go with it.
I hear you. Yeah. No. And is that the last story? Because we had this one Air Force story that you had.
Yeah,
one
my
last
bad.
one, which made me really think about. You got to be careful about these stories.
Oh, what is that? I'll pull it up.
Yeah, he's pulled up a.
Also from the USA Today, bathroom boondoggle. Air Force paid 80 times going rate for soap dispensers. The Air Force needs to clean up its act on buying spare parts for its workhorse C-17. The Pentagon Inspector General Tuesday blasting the service for spending 80 times the commercial rate for soap dispensers. Each soap dispenser in the plane, $149,000.
He spent $149,000 in soap dispensers for these airplanes. Yeah. And this is where I feel like we really need to check our news sources, because I find this a direct attack on gays in the military.
Okay, go with it.
I already did. Soap dispensers. These soap dispensers are fabulous. And I know it's going to cost us $180,000 for these soap dispensers, but we have just redesigned this plane. So, it's going to be like, we didn't ask for it. It was him. And then they were like, get him out of here. Because it's just a setup. It's a setup. When we have to protect each other's rights.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things on the ballot. Yeah. So we got to make sure that we get out there.
$150,000 for a soap dispenser. That's like 5 cadets' salaries. You know what I mean? Or
All right, but they might have been wonderful. They might have been like the breakthrough of the toilet warmer. Right. Do you know what I mean? The toilet warmer that hums so that no one can hear you go to the bathroom.
I didn't even know that was
and then it lifts and pushes you off like, okay, you're done. Let me help you.
Like a catapult.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't even know about those things, do you?
I think
Claire, the finer things in life, Matt.
Well, okay, if you're spending that much on your Vegas hotels, maybe you deserve it. Here we go. All right.
All right, guys. This is the end of My Behave with Matt Lewis and me. And
follow her.
Yes, follow me at $1 Million Maya and follow Matt.
The fun Matt Lewis.
The fun Matt Lewis. And support the Laugh Factory. So for having us in here. Listen, be safe, vote.
Yes.
Pay attention.
Don't wait.
Support each other. And even, be kind to your neighbor, even if they need a little help.
Even if they're a Yankees fan.
Well, no, because I was thinking, that was underhanded. Because somebody was saying to me, you should foster a child, help a young child. And I was like, Mike, you know what? We need to foster a grown idiot, because a child still has a chance.
Yeah.
That's what I say. So be nice to the others. All right. Take care.
All right. Thanks for listening.